This is ENS Insider, brought to you by the Face of Fun Committee and probably every other committee in ENS, with your hosts Cameron Maves and Danielle Coleman. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of ENS Insider. Your host here, one of them, Cam Maves, Danielle Coleman.
Hello.
There we go. Very special guest today. You know her, you love her. Taxpay manager, Angie Newland.
Hey, everybody.
Ooh.
Excited to be here.
There you go. That's what we like to hear. So, Angie, you know, today you've probably seen a couple of these. If not, that's okay. I won't hold it against you. But today is all about you and a little bit about me, probably, because I like to interject myself. But the goal for the day is just to get to know Angie a little bit. And, you know, we always start off with a little 2-minute kind of about you kind of thing. And, you know, some people go different ways with this. It can be about your life outside of paychecks, your life within paychecks, a combo platter, whatever you want. The 2 minutes is really yours. And I'm going to go ahead and start my little timer right now. So
All right.
jump in.
Pressure's
2 minutes on the clock.
All right. So we'll start with my paychecks journey first. So because it's not very long. I'm not gonna lie. So I started with paychecks about 18 years ago, a little over 18 years ago. And I started actually as a distribution specialist in the Columbus, Ohio branch. So I was there for about 3 months and then became a computer operator. And then shortly after that became a QPS. Where I helped to open up the Ohio Fulfillment Center. So that was a lot of fun. That's when fulfillment centers were really starting to gain traction, and there were only a few of us. But that was a lot of fun. Spent a lot of time there helping to build that fulfillment center. And then I decided to relocate to Rochester and join the EPFC. It was a really great opportunity. It was a lateral move, but not really a lateral move because I got to learn everything about the other side of paychecks, right? The HRS side of paychecks that I had no clue about because, you know, when we were in the field, we didn't really have a lot of insight into that part of the process. So I'm really excited about that. I spent just a little bit of time underneath the ENS umbrella when I came to the EPFC, and I knew instantly that if I was ever going to grow out of logistics and try and challenge myself in a different area, it was going to be ENS. It gave me just like that really good feeling that I had in logistics, that family feeling, that fun feeling, kind of that supported feeling. So I knew that that's where I was going to land. So when I was ready to make the move and make the scary move, that is something different after about 16 and a half years of doing the same thing, I looked for ENS, and I was lucky enough. Tish gave me a shot, and happy to be here. It'll be 2 years in March. So really excited about that.
Awesome.
Love it.
Yeah. So personally, I think I've got a little bit more time here, Cam.
About 5 seconds.
5 seconds. Okay. Personally, I have a wife. I have 2 fur babies. I'm wildly competitive, and go Bills.
Go Bills.
You nailed it because it literally went off. It's very quiet when you said "Go Bills." So,
Well done.
Awesome.
you know, if you would like to elaborate on any of that other stuff, you certainly can. I would give you more than 2 minutes. But also, you know, your paychecks career is old enough to smoke cigarettes, so I wouldn't say that's a certainly short. You know, but you know,
It is.
you got some years on me. Mine is well, mine might be smoking cigarettes, but not legally. I can't even drive yet in my paychecks career, but 15 years almost.
Aren't I at 17
That's
and a half and you're at 16?
Hell no, I started in 2008.
Oh. Yeah.
For
Okay.
15 years, 15 years, June 2nd, which is potentially the day my kid could be born. So wouldn't that be weird?
Awesome.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe a new anniversary. But awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that. And I know that ENS and Taxpay is lucky to have you
Yes.
for sure.
Thanks.
And I like having people from Taxpay involved with stuff with me because I admittedly took me a long time in ENS to understand what Taxpay was, even though I knew what Taxpay was from the beginning because I always talked payroll, which Taxpay was like peanut butter and jelly with that, you know. But to understand what you all do took me till coming to ENS and learning a lot, and it's a lot of work, and I commend you all on
Yeah.
that. I mean, I know it's not busy right now in January, but you know,
Not at all.
but
Not at all.
we do appreciate you taking some time out to link up with us. So
Yeah, of course.
you left off with, go Bills, and I just want are you from were you from Ohio originally? You said like born and raised. So
Yeah.
what what made you go with Bills instead of like Browns or Bengals?
So, yeah, so historically, I don't like really any Ohio teams. I'm not really sure why. It's kind of odd, but yeah, no, I've lived in Ohio my entire life. Rochester, New York's the first place that I've lived outside of Ohio. So, I was actually a Bills fan when I was a kid. So, in the
Yeah.
years of the four falls of Buffalo, I was
That's right.
crying the same tears. But I was just looking back and like realizing I was like 12 years old when that final Super Bowl happened.
Oh man,
And
the chills.
I know, but I can just remember I was 12 years old. I was the only one up in the house when that Super Bowl was going on. And after we lost for the fourth time, I walked into the kitchen and I instantly ripped a cupboard off of my parents' kitchen cabinet at 12 years old. So it ran a little deep, my
Yeah.
love for
Oh
the
man,
Bills.
I love
Yeah.
that.
I remember being a
Bills.
kid and I was a Bills fan, because my dad was a Bills fan. But I remember like if you wanted to ask dad for something, you asked before the Bills game. Because after
That's smart.
he wasn't ripping cupboards off the door, but the door off cupboards, but he was definitely not happy.
Yeah,
So yeah,
I
if they
totally
lost.
get it.
if they lost, right, right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get in trouble nowadays because there's a bare wall to the right of my TV. And so when I'm watching the Bills game, I always have to hold a football. So often does that ball like get launched at that bare wall during the game. And my wife
Yeah,
yells at me every time.
I
Funny.
bet. I've yeah, my in-laws learned during the Vikings game. We went over there and watched
Ooh,
that, and they learned uh essentially when to talk to me and when not to talk to me. And that was one of the games where we didn't have a car there either. My wife and I, we rode with her aunt and uncle, and I was desperately wanting to leave.
you were stuck.
I was stuck, and my wife's aunt was not. I wouldn't say prodding me because she's a Bills fan, kind of, but uh, she just said a couple things, and I was like, not right now. I was flustered. So I get that. The cabinet thing I've never done myself personally. I have flipped the table over while playing a Spider-Man video game when I was younger. But my family has track record for like broken remotes and stuff during Bills games. So um, the aggression, I understand. It's a special feeling of pain. And I was 7 or 8 when the Super Bowl run ended. So I was a little bit younger, but
Yeah.
grew up through the blunder years for sure. And it's nice to have some success now.
Yeah.
So
Lots of passion there.
Yeah,
yeah,
Lots and
we're
lots of passion.
yeah,
absolutely.
we're pumped for this weekend. And Danielle came up with a good idea. We wanted to see if you want to do it.
Oh yeah.
Maybe, and then obviously this will be posted afterwards, so our predictions will be locked in. But if you wanted to do maybe like a score prediction for the game on Sunday.
Hmm. Let's see. 32-12.
Oh, that's almost what I have. I have
Bills,
34-16.
obviously.
Yeah, yeah.
32-12
I
Bills,
mean,
obviously.
obviously. I have 34-16. That's what I was thinking.
I was 31-13, so we're all
What is
Look at
this?
that.
It's a win.
so sorry, Danny, if you're watching this. You know, we,
I'm gonna make sure I head to K2 and I get some Squish the Fish sour
there you go.
so I can
Oh,
partake in that during the
That looks
game.
that I've seen that. It looks
me
delicious. I'm
too.
unfortunately doing dry January right now, or else I'd probably grab a 4-pack of that as well.
Yeah, I decided to do that too, except for during the Bills games.
I think that's
There's an
smart.
That's good.
exception.
My caveat was going to be if I ended up going to a game, I was going to drink, and I'm not going as of right now, Sunday. So, but yeah, that's good. I got Biggest Loser going. I think we're all in that actually. So,
Yeah.
doing
Yeah.
what I can to be able to tie my shoes comfortably. Again,
That's a
Not
very
to the
good goal.
side.
yeah, yeah.
I
uh,
hear you.
so I wanted, I had a question for you, personally. It's just because
Oh yeah, this is like a dying question. He's
Uh-oh.
mentioned it as soon as I said maybe we should interview. We should ask Angie to do it. He was like, "Oh, I'm gonna ask her this." It was like instant.
well, in a way, I've been in your shoes before, but
It's interesting.
the results were quite different. So I wanted to ask about, the Angie signature hair. First of all, want to know like when you started that look because I love it. Like, was it like I'm going to
Thanks.
try this because I want to try something different? Was it inspired by something? Were you? Because to me, it reminds me like I grew up and I'm a little younger than you, but not by much based on your Bill's age. Um, a little bit of like a scene kid, and that kind of reminds me of like of scene kid stuff. And then my final question comment was, as someone who grew up again around the same time, I tried bleaching my hair and it was orange. Uh, Multiple times I've tried it, it was orange. So I want to know how you get yours to be so pristinely bright blonde. So that's a lot of questions, but I want to know about
There's a lot of
the Angie
questions.
look. You know what I'm saying? It's patented, I think.
Yeah. I like it. I like it. Yeah, I've often like tried to do different things with my hair. I'm always like, it's just hair, it'll grow back, like who cares? So I've often tried to do it. Started, I don't know, a long time ago. I had, a mullet at one point. I had a mohawk in my Paychex career at one point. So lots of different things. This actually started out as only being a panel of blonde in my hair, and it
Mhm.
has just graduated to the entire top of my hair. So I went from a tiny panel to just a giant blonde top of my head. How do I keep it so pristine? I go to two individuals to do my hair. It's the most ridiculous thing that someone should ever do. I literally
Nope.
sit in a chair and get my fade done by one person, and then I move to another chair and I get my blonde and my cut with another person.
Wow.
So yeah, so I try to maintain that. At least I go probably once every couple months or once every month and a half. And yeah, I'm always asking to push it brighter and brighter. Let's go platinum.
I love it.
I
I
Thir-
love
like it.
you.
13-year-old me could never compete with that routine. And also, I would say I did try it when I was so that was like before freshman year is when I did it because Eminem was huge then, and then I got a wild hair up my crack when I was like junior or senior. Yeah, it's wild hair up my ASS is what Mike always says. Um, but I was like, you know what? I'm starting to thin a little bit. Let's see what this looks like. Because I was balding in college, of course, and I bleached it, and the fine hairs up here that barely existed anymore just made me look completely bald. And I was like 18, I was like 20. I was like, no, that's not the move. So that's my bleaching
Backfired.
story.
You could have done what I did when I was in high school. I used to use facial hair bleach to bleach the front two pieces of my
Oh,
hair,
oh yeah.
and
Oh, that was definitely a thing.
it instantly fried off and broke off. So my nickname in high school was Troll because I could like go like this with all the broken ends and stand my hair straight up like a troll doll.
All right.
So
That's funny.
I don't recommend facial hair bleach for the hair on your head.
Okay, good to know. I probably don't have to worry about it anymore, but anyone listening,
No,
watching, don't
Yeah,
do
right.
it. I thought
this is a
about doing it
life
for
hack
years before.
from Angie.
It's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
good one.
I missed
Yeah.
out on all that because I wanted to dye my hair cool colors, and it all fell out before I could. So, oh well, you know, we got the beard still.
Really,
Um,
I believe
There you go.
most
Yeah.
times hair comes up on this podcast because Cam has this terrible envy for.
I do. I've hated many of people in my life, men essentially, for their nice hair, for no other reason other than looking at them and being like, "I hate you," because you have nice hair. But it's not real hate. But and yeah, whatever. I have hair envy. Hey,
Envy.
Danielle,
Little bit of hair envy there.
a little bit, a little bit.
You, I feel like you, my son is too, Angie, and he has bright red hair and it's curly
Ooh.
and it is
That's awesome.
gorgeous. Yes. And then Cam is always like, I want that lettuce.
I do.
Lettuce.
Cam, you got to
Like,
flip that around because a lot of people have beard envy too, and you have a pretty
that's true.
fantastic beard
That's
going on. So
true.
you gotta
Thank you.
flip that around.
You're right. I mean, I don't know how many times, cashiers think they're funny when they're checking my ID saying, "Oh, what happened? Your hair moved from your head to your face?" When I used to have I used to have my old picture without a beard and I had hair, and I was like, "Oh man, you're funny, aren't you?" But
Hilarious.
I mean, it's a good line, but I mean, how many times do I have to hear it? Right? Some cashier. But whatever, that's okay. Anyways, enough about me and my bald hair and my bald head.
It's always a little bit about you, Cam.
It is a little bit. I'm starting to feel a little baldism here.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. But uh, Danielle, you ready for some questions?
Let's do it.
All right, Angie, you know how this goes, I believe. But we have 10 patented ENS Insider questions that we kind of rapid fire through, and just want to get your real honest answers on these. And I go for odd. Danielle goes for even. And if you're ready, we're going to start firing those off for you.
I'm ready.
All right. First question. What is your favorite word?
My favorite word. That's an easy one for me. My favorite word is family. That is my absolute favorite word. Always using it, always talking to my family, always wanting to be with my family. So family would be my favorite word. Yeah, for sure.
That's a
Incredibly
good one.
wholesome answer. I like
I know.
Yeah. We're keeping it PG today, kids.
I would say yours is a little different than I don't know if it was Amanda or Marcy what their favorite word was, but it also answers another question coming up. But Danielle, go ahead.
What is your least favorite word?
So my least favorite word is gonna sound absurd, but my least favorite word is beanie. I hate the word
Like
beanie.
a beanie?
Yes, I don't like when people use that word to say that they have a beanie on their head. It's a woolly. Let's just make it a fact today. What you're wearing on your head is a woolly in the wintertime. It is not a beanie.
Wow,
I've never heard woolly before.
that sounds
Yeah.
Canadian.
It does kind of sound Canadian.
Maybe. I think that I actually got it from a really old basketball movie called Sunset Park.
Hmm,
If you don't know it, you should watch it. It's pretty
I
good.
don't. Sunset Park. It's no he got game, that's for sure.
No, I love that movie though.
I will try. I'll add it to the list. What excites you?
What excites me? Well, when the Bills and the Irish win, that excites me very much.
Oh, Notre Dame too. I didn't know that. That's
Yeah.
exciting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
there's a big helmet at her desk. Can't miss
You
it.
got it. That's
Nice.
right. Yeah. Big Notre Dame fan. No, I would say live entertainment excites me. So going to live concerts, live sporting events, all of that, that definitely excites me. When I see that on the calendar, I'm like, let's go. Packed. Ready to go. Yeah, I
Love it.
love that.
Nice. What bums you out? What brings you down?
Um, let's
Other than the
see.
Bills losing, which
Well, I
is
was
going to
gonna
happen
say
this
that,
weekend.
but it's not happening. Um, let's see. I would say it bums me out when I have to come home from visiting my family. That bums me out. But also bad drivers bum me out. I have the worst road rage that
Really?
so bad. I'm such a nice person, and but when I get in that car and there's somebody in front of me, it's like Jekyll and Hyde. My wife says it's the most stressful thing ever driving with me when there are bad drivers on the road.
That's funny.
You gotta love it when it starts raining or snowing barely, and people completely change their driving habits and
It's
act
the
like they haven't been
craziest
here
thing.
before.
It is so crazy because we live in Rochester, New York. Like you should be prepared for that, right? Either you've been driving in this for how long?
Right.
Yeah, it's super frustrating and it bums me out every time. Puts me in a bad
Every
place.
time.
Puts
I
me in a
agree.
bad place.
Oh, I like that answer. I can relate to that. What sound or noise do you love?
It just happened this morning, so I'm gonna go with this. So my 8-pound Pomeranian Chihuahua monkey, she she often whines when she wants something. So if she wants food, anything, like she'll whine and whine in your face and stare at you. But sometimes she has a yawn at the same time as her whining, and it makes the most adorable noise in the whole entire world. And I melt every time it happens. You want something, you're gonna get it now because she melts my heart. She is
Aw.
the true love of my life, and my wife
Aw.
knows that, so we're okay. This isn't gonna be any shock.
Sure. Do you want to try to impersonate that noise for us or no?
I could probably. I really could.
I won't put you on the spot.
All
No,
right.
it's
What? So,
okay. Well, listen,
oh,
this is a fun podcast, right? Like
Yeah.
I'll put myself on the
All
spot.
right.
So it's kind of like
yeah.
kind of like a kind of like that. It's kind of
That
like
was.
that.
So good.
I would.
So
I
good.
would. I
Do you
would
want
give
a
you
treat?
treats now.
I'm gonna get you
Yes, I'll
one.
give you treats now.
Exactly. Anything you
Worked.
want.
Thank you.
Uh,
Awesome. What about like a noise that you don't like, or a sound or noise that you don't like?
so I don't know if you guys know that this is a thing, but there's an actual condition about like normal, typical noises that people make that really drive others crazy.
Oh,
So
let's
people
talk
can
about it.
have this. It's definitely a thing. So chewing, if somebody is sitting beside me and they're chewing, or even like breathing while they chew and I can hear both of them at the same time, it drives me crazy. I literally have to plug my ear and try and eat with my other hand because I can't
Wow.
handle it. I cannot handle it. It's
Huh.
it's an actual condition.
Wow. I'd have to be super cautious around you because I'm told, not that I chew with my mouth open, but I'm a loud chewer. I'm a hard chewer, I guess. I bite really hard when I chew. I've been told that by multiple people.
Huh.
And that's
Savage.
not something that I even know is that I'm doing. I'm just a hard chewer, I guess. So I will, if I'm ever eating around you, I'm gonna be super cautious and make sure I maybe go to another table. Um, what what is your favorite curse word? You don't have to say it, but you can say
Dang.
it.
I mean, you can.
Yeah, I don't
No,
care.
I'm good.
We don't edit
I don't
here.
know who's watching the podcast. I'm a subscriber. I don't know who else subscribes, so I
True,
keep it a little bit. So I'm gonna probably stay on brand here because I have watched the other ENS Insiders. I'm gonna stay on brand and I'm gonna say the F word.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say the F word because it's literally the most versatile curse word that you can use. You can use it when you're happy, when you're sad, when you're excited, anytime, and it just makes sense. So I would say, yeah, the F word. It's a good one.
That's the right answer.
I agree.
Makes me feel the most naughty, but it's a good one.
That too. That too. Did you ever watch The Wire?
I did.
There's that whole scene. I think it's like the
The
third, and they
kitchen.
just say that word over and over to have a full
Yeah.
like 5-minute conversation.
That was awesome.
And you
Yes,
know exactly what they're saying to each other just from that word. I love it.
I know. It's awesome. I love that show. Gosh,
Yeah.
I need to go back and binge it again.
Yeah.
It's weird to watch it now. Like technology is so far beyond that. You're like,
Yeah,
you know, it's
you're
so
like beepers and payphones. What?
Mhm.
exactly. Exactly. What profession other than your own would you like to attempt if you weren't a superstar taxpay manager? What would you want to do?
I so early in my paychecks career, I actually started to look at becoming a cop. So that is something it's a missed opportunity. I had kind of a hard no from my mom, a hard no from my partner at the time, so
Uh-huh.
I did not move forward with that. And I wish that I had, but I don't regret it. It's just a missed opportunity, right? If I wouldn't be sitting here on this amazing podcast if I had gone through
Right.
with becoming a cop. So no
Yeah.
regrets, but definitely a missed opportunity. I would have loved to do that.
You'd be making Danielle sweat right now if you did that.
Yeah.
She doesn't like them. When they pull up, not that she doesn't like them, like,
That's right.
but when we're in the car, we would drive around and they'd pull up, she would just get nervous. And I wasn't riding
Oh,
dirty or anything, but, I think it's just like a fight or flight kind of thing, right?
It is.
I
I
want
do.
to intro that song now. There should be like a riding dirty, little
That's
riding
right.
dirty song. I like it. I
I
like
probably
it.
don't know how to edit it, but if I can, we'll do it right here. All right. Uh, you know, but we're glad you're here. That's all. You know.
Yeah.
So,
Me too.
what on the flip side of the coin? What profession would you never ever like to do?
That's easy. Veterinarian. Couldn't do it.
Mm,
I
Just
give I give veterinarians so much credit. Every time I see an ASPCA commercial, I like fall into a puddle on my couch. I'll plug my ears and tell somebody to tap me when it's over.
change the channel.
But yeah, yep. I couldn't handle that. I couldn't do it.
They're so helpless, you know, the
I know.
animals. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. All
Could
right.
not
Well,
do
at
it.
the end of your
Yeah.
life, Angie, in the far, 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 far future,
Let's hope.
what do you want people to remember you for?
Yeah, I think that I would want people to remember me for being fun, for being kind and caring, for being hardworking, for always putting family first, and for doing all of it with a summer shandy in my hand.
Yeah, girl.
there we
I
go.
think that's how I'd want people to remember me.
I
That's
love it.
right.
Yeah.
That's
Seems
memorable.
perfect.
I
I
think
hope so.
I think you're well on your way to achieving that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
Well,
you don't have a
I
shandy
definitely
right
have the
now.
last one.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. It's coming back.
Yeah. After work hours, maybe you'll have a shame.
Yeah.
Right?
That's right.
Awesome. Well, I want to thank you,
Yeah,
Danielle.
for sure.
You know, great having you on and getting to know a little bit more about you. And taking some time during a very busy time in your world to link up with us and hopefully you know everyone can find some time to watch this and get to know you as well. So
Yeah.
I didn't do a sponsorship today, but this is brought to you by ENS Recognition Team. I'm just gonna throw that out there. They're doing a great job. Well, you both are on there, right?
Yep.
You got it.
I nailed that. So if you want to recognize your employees or coworkers, reach out to ENS Recognition Team and make it happen. So
That's
yeah,
right.
Send me an email. We provide fun, laughter, and recognition for all of ENS once a month.
That's
there we
true.
go. Awesome. Well, on that note, I think we're about done here.
Sounds good.
Appreciate you,
Okay.
Angie. Appreciate you, Danielle. Everyone watching, thank you so much for your time today. And we will be back next month, and we'll end it with the Go Bills.
That's right. Go
Go Bills.
Bills.
Go Bills.